everyone. We are here with Abel of Espresso Workshop. We're just going to ask him a few questions about what he does here and what he thinks about coffee in general. So Abel, if you don't mind introducing yourself to us, please.
So, I'm Abel. I am, the manager here at Espresso Workshop. Been the manager for 2 years. I just pretty much look after the shop.
I'm guessing you're also a barista.
Yes, I am a barista as well.
Have you been in any competitions or anything like that?
I've done an AeroPress competition before. It was kind of fun. It was really good. But I want to actually compete more in other competitions. But the problem is, as being a manager in a coffee shop, the struggle is to find time for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Because of all the training that we have, like the constant staff turnover, you'll never ever have time for yourself to actually focus on the thing that you want to do.
What would you compete in? What do you think would be your? Would you go for AeroPress? Would you go for kind of
cupping, tasting,
latte art?
I was thinking maybe cupping. It is something that we're been developing here in Britomart. We're doing a lot of in-house cupping, so we develop our own palette as well, and to differentiate different coffee. And because I've worked in restaurants for my whole career so far, and I'm quite used to like wine tasting.
Oh right, that's amazing. Yeah. So you have a very like sophisticated palate.
Yeah. I mean, there's two types of people in this world. There's natural palates and people who are trained, and I'm not natural, and it took a while for me to actually get where I am right now. Just a lot of training, a lot of tasting.
Well, we're going to start with a few flash questions.
Yep.
Do you want to start?
Yes. So, black or white?
Black or white. I used to drink white coffee only, but now that I've worked in the specialty coffee industry, I've actually started liking black coffee a lot more. From a flat white drinker to now drink espresso and mainly just filter coffee. It has changed my mind. It's crazy. I actually really do like it.
Does tend to happen that
Exactly.
way.
You can see the level of experience here.
Yes.
The drinks that we've chosen me with my flat white.
There's nothing wrong with
Nothing
it.
wrong with it. It's delicious flat wine. I tried it.
I still like the occasional flat white, but I mean, and also drinking coffee, I've learned a lot about myself. And knowing drinking dairy is actually not very good for me. As a barista, before I became a manager, as a barista, we would be drinking maybe 10 cups of coffee or sips here and there, and then you realize you're getting really bloated, you're not feeling too good, and it's to do with the milk. And now that drinking black coffee is actually a lot easier for me as well.
So that leads us to another question. How many cups a day would you say you are having? What's the optimal number?
Optimal number? Minimum 6 a day.
Wow. Wow. I have to have a reaction.
Sleep at night.
I sleep very well. I sleep very well. Yeah.
So far, everyone we've interviewed or spoken to said like 2, 3.
Oh, I try not to have more than 2. I don't have.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're like a proper.
You just process it. Just boosh next.
Yeah.
What more have you got for me?
Yeah. Don't stop, you just keep going, I no longer shake.
Wow, that's expert level coffee.
I feel the zing is like you're like in a different level.
Amazing. Good.
I've got another question.
Yes.
Filter or espresso?
Filter. Filter for me is like drinking tea. I'm Chinese, so my background is always about tea, drinking tea, and it's almost very similar in a way, And
tea is definitely something I need to get into more.
Definitely. Like Ethiopian coffees, this is the typical note of Earl Grey tea, and you can definitely distinctively tell, like, oh wow, this is like Earl Grey or jasmine sometimes, or like oolong. This tea, for me, I can definitely taste it.
What's the kind of most bizarre or weirdest flavour note you've ever picked up in coffee?
It was a couple of years back. I tried a geisha, and it tasted like cola lollies.
Oh wow, really?
It it tastes
I
like.
love these flavors. So far we heard Ribena.
Oh yeah.
I heard someone tasting like Jolly Rangers, those like
The Jolly Ranchers, the red ones.
that one. Coffee and cake or just coffee?
Coffee and cake.
Yeah. Do you eat or drink? Do you like having something to eat with your coffee, or do you just enjoy your coffee by itself?
I just like the coffee by itself.
The pure, unadulterated.
Alice would say just cake.
Yeah, 100% would.
Fair enough. Yeah, definitely.
Controversial question.
Yes.
If you could only pick one for the rest of your life, coffee or tea?
Coffee. I'm addicted to it now. You can't go back now.
No, it's very difficult to go back. Do you remember your first memory with coffee, and do you perhaps remember how old you were? That's a difficult question.
It is a very difficult question.
I have thought, I don't think I remember. I probably had a sip from my parents when I was like 7 or 8. But I specifically remember my father being like, you're not allowed to drink this, because I was already a hyper child. And he was like, you're not allowed. You can try it, but I wouldn't remember how old I was.
I remember the first time I actually enjoyed a flat white that was actually here. My sister-in-law used to work here.
All right.
So I came in here and I tried it and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then just from then I was just hooked. And then, yeah.
So not so long ago there, or how long would you say?
I would say probably 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you find yourself going from the kind of restaurant side of things into coffee? Was it a happy accident, or did you try the coffee here and you go, right, this is what I want?
It was a happy accident actually. I used to come here as a customer all the time, and then one day my sister-in-law asked me, I need some help, can you come and just do a couple of shifts? And I'm like, yeah, why not? And then I came in here and I did a shift and they were like, oh, why don't you just stay? And I was like, okay, why not?
Yeah, and then you made it to manager.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was really hard to transition from restaurant to cafe because in a restaurant we'll probably finish at 12 and then we'll go drinking up till 4 o'clock in the morning and then go home at late and then repeat. But now I wake up around 4 o'clock and then the time flip. It took me about 6 months to adjust and to flip my time. It was really hard.
Obviously, because coffee shops open early and close early, and then restaurants is the other way around.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can imagine that must be super difficult.
Looking back now, do you have a preference? Do you think you're an early bird or a night owl, or?
I don't actually know anymore. I can do both. I'm not too picky.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me if I would go back to restaurant nightlife, I guess I could, but I actually quite enjoy waking up so early because you have so much of the day ahead of you instead of most of the time hungover the next day.
Might be good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to flip it a bit.
Exactly. And usually I used to wake up maybe 12 o'clock or 10. It's already half your day gone. And you don't need, and now I watch the sun come up and the sun goes down. So
I think it's, as you get older, it's probably the better switch than the other way around.
Oh yeah, 100%. Someone suddenly started telling me I had to go out at midnight and party. No, too old.
Right. Do you mind if we ask you a personal and a political question? Do you want to ask a personal question?
Yes. Who is your favourite person to drink coffee with?
My assistant manager, Yeji.
Really? That's great.
Every time we go out, we have about 6 coffees all the time we go around. And we just love coffee, so it's
I guess you have the common language, so that's
exactly,
why it's so
exactly.
enjoyable.
Yeah,
That's great. So the political question is, how do you think your coffee shop is helping the environment and animals, humans included? Is there something specific that you can think of?
Like the environmental impact that we do?
Yeah, so it can be from using compostable material all the way to being conscious about what coffee you source, where you source it from, or how you process it.
We do use compostable cups because the majority of our customers here in Britomart are all business people. They come and go and they don't actually really stay very often. So we use cups that are made from recycled paper and actually can be compostable, and also the lids are made from corn, you know, so it's...
That's amazing.
It's
That's really good.
Yeah.
Especially for this place, I think I did feel like it was essential that you thought about that sort of footprint.
Exactly.
Great.
And we do encourage customers to bring their own cups as well.
Yeah, we have our cups. We might have to take some of their Cool. Do we have any more questions, Alice?
I've got one more question, which is, in terms of the coffee business, where do you see your 5-10 year plan? Do you like the management role? Do you want to kind of go more into the kind of academics of coffee? Would you open your own coffee shop?
I've thought about it. I really have thought about it. I would love to open my own coffee shop. But the struggles is with employment. In New Zealand we have a majority of hospitality workers are international people. We do have I'm the only Kiwi that is working in some of the branches, except for Oraki. So I see a lot of my friends are all my colleagues. They come and go, and I think that's one of the struggles that I have and I fear of.
Yeah.
You train them up and then they leave.
Exactly. That's why it's always quite restless for me because I'm not able to settle, be able to relax on that.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I understand that.
It's kind of the nature of the industry.
Definitely.
I have my last question. We all love coffee here, right? We are all obsessed with coffee. Can you name one bad thing about coffee? If you can't, that's absolutely fine. I have people saying, no, there's nothing wrong with coffee. Everything is good with coffee.
Coffee. It's either the withdrawals or you've had way too much coffee. Those are the only two bad things that are.
So not enough and too much.
Yeah.
So you have to find that
In moderation.
golden
Yeah,
middle.
exactly.
For you, that's 6 cups.
Yeah, exactly. 6 cup is fine.
The perfect number.
Exactly.
That's great. Perfect. Thank you very much for
Thank you
listening.
so much.
Think of one of the coffees that you guys have roasted that is one of the special ones that not everyone will like, that will be a bit of a surprise.
We have a Rwandan coffee at the moment.
I saw that you have 4 single origins. And I've seen the Rwanda one look very promising. Is that the honey processed one?
I believe so, yeah. It's a honey process. But the problem with the Rwandan coffee has a potato defect into it.
Oh, right, okay.
So you're going to have this really strong potato smell.
But that would be interesting, wouldn't it, if we picked that up?
But it's a defect though, so it's either a hit or a miss. And I believe the harvest of last year, or the last season, is really bad.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's the issue with Rwanda and Burundi coffee as well. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Those are the only 2 countries that have it actually.
cool. I think we should try that.
Try it. See if you can taste some chips